2 up. Let's go back to our chart here and we can take a look. The engine temperature is on AV7 and the inlet air temp is on AV8. Let's go see if that's going to be matching up with what we find here. So engine temperature here is AV7, and I believe that's correct. So engine temp AV7, yep. Jumping back into here, and we're going to find that we need to go and set this calibration scale. So engine temperature is engine coolant temperature. In here, filter, we can leave it a value of 50. We need the pull-up on to complete the circuit. That's going to be sufficient there. The input units can either be voltage or resistance. We can leave it on voltage for right now. Going in here to the calibration type, we're going to go here into custom, and then allows me to do the load calibration option. I'm going to go ahead and load the Honda ECT coolant temp sensor scale into my window here, and that allows me to now not have to go in and figure all the details out. I've supplied that for you already, so that's a really big benefit. It's really nice. The fault settings. In this case, I'm going to turn off the fault detection here for the coolant temp sensor, and we'll click OK. I'll apply an OK here. And let's go to the air temp. Now here in the air temp sensor, it is on analog voltage 8. We do need the pull-up on. Filter we can leave at 10. Input units we can leave voltage. The calibration we can leave predefined, but in our predefined calibration here, we're actually going to say it's a Delphi IAT fast response. So we have a GM air temp sensor, which is a Delphi, and we're going to go ahead and select that. And we have our low and high thresholds. We'll just click them off and click apply and click OK. And now we have our lambda sensors to configure. So looking at this, we do not have a lambda sensor 2, so we're going to make sure we set that to none or off and get rid of that. Apply OK. And we do have an actual lambda temp sensor here, or lambda sensor, not temp sensor. So let's go here. We do have a lambda sensor, and that's going to be a lambda sensor 1, and that's going to be set up here on an analog voltage input, not on the actual internal lambda. And we're running an AM-X series wideband that we fed into our Emtron, and that's going to be found here on our AV5. So I've wired the white wire coming from the X series wideband into the Emtron, and then I've also wired the brown wire to a sensor ground on the Emtron, because we need to have an analog plus and analog minus, so the positive and the negative for our analog input need to be configured and wired so we don't have a voltage offset. I've taken care of that already. So analog voltage 5 is what we want to go ahead and set here for the Emtron. So the input source here, we're going to say AV5. And then in this case, we're going to say pressure correction is not going to be off. Let's do the filter here at something like 4 or 5 should be sufficient. We want to go to custom and load calibration. And I have my AM-X series wideband. And we can see that's going to load this calibration scale here. Now we do have, this is actually interesting, it's loading some additional points here of data. I want to go zero these out. We want to have it 0.5 is 0.55, 4.5 is 1.2 lambda. So it's set the calibration scale for us. And then in here, there are some fault low and fault high. We could set this if it's at 0.4 or higher than that, 4.6. Detection time, let's do 2 seconds. And fault value, we can default it to Stoich 1.0. The DTC control, we'll do a manual clear, and then the DTC engine limit we'll leave off. Let's apply and click OK. And what we're going to find now, let's give that a second here. And let's click OK. It looks like my laptop's slowing down here just a little bit, so we'll just be patient. There we go. So looking through here, we do have a
Thanks for checking out our teaser clip. If you want to see the rest of this video and more than 500 hours of current EFI training we have to offer, make sure you click right here. If you want to go and check out more teaser clips from this training course, click here, and you don't want to miss any of the videos we're going to be releasing on this channel, so make sure you subscribe and click here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.